Well, this would be considered operator use. I'd have to say it sat out. It sat out for too long. The bag didn't hold up. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if we can resurrect the dead. Totally my fault. What a shame. And the bad part is I don't know why it got retired. I cannot remember. It's been so long ago. I don't know if this is the date. Nah, that can't be. 01. Definitely can't be. I mean, it's got to only be 5. I'd say 5 years old. Let me strap this down. A couple of you come on in here. You can hang out and listen or whatever. Holy catfish. I dropped you. I done dropped you, Swilly. I done dropped you. Yeah. I don't know about this one. This one's definitely some operator abuse over here. I feel sorry for this one. Definitely could have. It's kind of one of the bad things sometimes about. It's the bad thing about sometimes with this stuff. It sits out, you know. Garage doors do not like to sit outside. It's amazing, especially the openers. I mean, it's definitely my fault, 100%. Sometimes there's other stuff out there that likes the outdoors not so bad. Perhaps. Maybe cars even hold up, right? Cars can hold up a little better. One more strap on her. Oh, if you're cruising through too, if you're a newbie, welcome. And also, if you don't mind, hit the like button. It just brings more people, more entertainment to talk to. When you're out working the late hours, the midnight shift. Guess I really don't have to be. I decided to. We're gonna see if we can resurrect this one. If I can find a strap that fits. Oh, Strappy, where are you? Hope you're all doing great. We did a live a little earlier, but the kiddos and the fact that I needed to run over here. So what the heck, man? Might as well, right? Might as well. And if you can, let me know if you can hear me, because maybe sometimes it gets muted. Just let me know if audio's okay. Let me know if you're doing the garage door world. We're gonna go on where it's light in a minute here. I'm just strapping her down. Doing the old double wrap on her. So hopefully you don't go nowhere. See if we can get the old jolly going here on this puppy. Did I strap that? I did. Walk around here. Crazy. Definitely could say it's not doing any good just sitting outside. I just didn't want to get done with the live stream and we have a catastrophic failure. If you know what I mean. Nobody wants a catastrophic failure. Oh, how you doing, Betsy? Oh, hey. Oh, this is an old door, isn't it? I thought the guys got her loaded up. Must be the guy cleaning her out tomorrow. Yeah, it don't look like too bad of a door. I'm surprised they changed it out. This reminds me of a door. A certain door. What door is this? Nope, this ain't the one I'm thinking. This is Holmes. Garage door Holmes, I think it is. I don't know if that's the manufacturer. I assume this is a Clopay. That's got to be a Clopay. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Golly, this door don't look like it's in really that bad of shape. I wonder why the customer changed it out. Let's see if we got a date here. TJ and or JT, CK. What the fudge? Back in 2023. Oh, PM serviced. Huh. Okay. That's probably just service. Probably wasn't the install. Interesting. Interesting. Not bad. This is a longer van, too. I don't know what... This looks like 18. I wish it said. I don't really feel like pulling out tape. This looks like 18. Well, there you go. That's how the pros do it right there. Get a strap on her. Look at that, huh? Oh, by the way, too, if you guys don't mind, if you're cruising through, whatever, hit the like button. Like I said, if you're cruising in, it just helps out the old algo for YouTube. YouTube likes it. Interesting. Come to the side door. We'll see if the side door is unlocked. Probably is, right? No, dang. All right. We're doing good. That actually makes me happy. I'm happy that they're locking their stuff. It's always good. All right, let's see if we can get in this place. See if we can break in. I don't see no cops around, so I think we're good. I think I got my wallet. I do. Boom. We're in. Ooh, man, what, they got the heat on in here? It's warmer than a hot potato. Better turn this around before I get in trouble. Sorry about the brightness. Hey, I see we got 3 likes. My goodness. Rusty said the audio was good. Rusty, appreciate it. Appreciate it. This thing does not want to sit with this little tripod like it's supposed to. So let's get a little scotch tape here and set her down for a second while I get some of all the stuff collected up, if it will. It's a little slippery. If you go for a slide, I apologize. Oh, snap. I don't want to sit there. Ooh, I could show you something, Kappa. Man, it's warm in here. 76. Check stuff, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's see what we got here. What's Rusty got? Tanner. Ooh, Tanner's got a good question. How do I feel about fixed track? Well, I did touch on this. a little bit. So when I think of fixed track, right, I'm thinking like the fixed track. So Tanner, I guess, are we talking residential or are we talking commercial? Because all I think about in my head is I think about the residential, right? The fixed track. And the fixed track was great. It was great for new builders, new construction. It was great for, like, especially if the builder knew how to frame everything out, make it perfect. I loved it, right? Like Haas had fixed track, like all the things. But if you ran into a retro, didn't work out so good, man. It was, like you had it had rivets in it, so you had to drill the rivets out. That really was a bummer. Hey, we got up to 4 likes too. Thank you guys for the likes. Like I said, if you're cruising through, whatever, just hit the like button. It don't cost you nothing. It don't track you. It's Carmara. She's not going to track you down or anything. He says Holmes is a Clopay. Oh, look at that. Rusty knows. He says Holmes is a Clopay with less warranty. Oh, gallery. It looks like their gallery model door. Medium oak color. Look at you, Rusty. Good for you. He's right on it, man. Right. Robert's got, he said, I love fixed track for new installs. I'm with you, man. It's like if you're working for builders, it's phenomenal. You know what I mean? If you're doing like new, spec homes, I love it. But unfortunately for us, we don't work just for the resi builders. You know what I mean? We get a few here and there, but it's not enough to say we are dedicated to this customer. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately. So it just doesn't work out that way. What's the date? What's the date? Anybody got a date? 9/25. Somehow I got a brand new marker. That's awesome. Rusty says, Tanner, do you mean continuous angle instead of, or a bracket? Or welded to wall? Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, Clope is professional door company door. Ideally, says a box store. And Holmes is a local lumberyard door. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. Robert, residential fixed track is the shit for new builds. It is, man. It's like rock and roll, baby. I love it for the new builds, but when it comes to everything else, too much of a pain. Might as well just have the brackets. I just did one of the Wayne Daltons. Hey, we got 6 likes too. Thank you guys for the likes. Hit the like button. In, out, whatever. Just hit it. Hit it like hit it 3 times. I think I said it 3 times. But I don't know about the quick turn. I'm still on the fence about the quick turn. Do I got grease on me? I think I do. The quick turn for Wayne Dalton. I don't know. Just don't know. It works. Tanner says no, like non-adjust track. It's riveted in place, no adjustment. But like I said, I think Tanner's talking about the residential, like Haas. Haas does it. I don't know. We're too universal for us. Like I said, if we were always committed, like we had just, I don't know, 50% builders that we were always working for, I'd say definitely I'd get a line for the builders. You know what I mean? Like I'd be like, they're only going to have the options to use, let's say Haas. But like I said, we just don't have enough. They come and go. You know, we might do whatever, 7, 8, 10, 12, 15 of them a year. It's just not enough to be committed to it, you know, where you say, hey, you know, we're going to stay on the riveted side. No adjustment track, riveted in place, no adjustment. Oh, we're being tracked for sure. Oh, Josh has got, heck yeah, Josh. You know it. You know it. They're watching us right now. It's all going to a database. Let's see here. It says, okay, Tanner, I got you. He says, yes, we almost always order fixed track, riveted, but I'm a Clope dealer, so I can only choose either when ordering. Didn't know that. That's kind of nice. That is nice. We got Jennifer Dyer. Is it Dyer? I knew a Dwyer. I thought it was Dwyer. Hello. Hope you're doing great. Glad you're here. If you have any questions, whatever, don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, almost always order fixed track riveted. Yes. Robert, you're 100% right about retro. He says you definitely need adjustable track for that. We keep both in stock. Ooh, man, Robert, nice. Keep both. Man, fancy. Yeah, we don't have enough storage for all that kind of stuff, but keeping it, if you knew it. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. I seen this. It was sitting out back in the willy weeds. Here's actually one of those Power Master remotes. We were talking about it one night. Ooh, and you know what's funny? It still works. I don't know if I like the design. It's kind of weird. Like I don't know if it's not cradled in there all the way, but like what the is going on? Like what is this? Like maybe it's broke. I don't think it's broke. Cradled in there. I don't know. It's goofy, man. I don't know if I like that or not. 2-button Power Master. Power Master. Like your Lift Master. Just more simpler. I don't know how this thing pops on or off. Looks like a couple screws or something. Couldn't believe it though. It's been sitting out. It's got to be a couple of years now. It's been sitting out probably 5, 8 years, whatever, just as long as that opener. And I seen it sitting there and for whatever reason, that opener didn't get used or whatever. But we're gonna see if we can bring her back to life. We might have a project for it. We might. But either way, it needs to get running, or it needs to get scrapped. Da-da-da-da. Hello. Let's see here. Yeah, I have never had. It always had to set my own track. I'm not a big fan. The company I bought out has Haas. Love the doors, but a fan of the fixed track. Put 16. He says, and knife today, and could fit my fingers between the jams. Ooh, too much. Wow. So there's too much room in there, huh? Well, we got Tin Man. What's up, Tin Man? Haven't talked to you in a while. Continuous angle is the way to go. Must be way stronger, probably. I don't know. I don't think you guys are doing it on residential, are you? Continuous angle on residential? We're talking commercial. I mean, all our commercial is always continuous, especially if it's on steel buildings. I guess it's not always if it's on some wood stuff, but flags always seem to work pretty good. Tony's in the house. Dang, Tony. How have we been so blessed with your presence? My goodness. I hope everything's going good. Let's see. I'm getting ready to take, Tony said, I'm getting ready to take a CHI standard lift and high lift, 4 feet. Excited. He says, other than it's a dirt floor. Dirt floor. Jennifer's got Dyer. Am I saying it right? I apologize. I'm not really good with spelling. Just ask my kids. They're smarter than me. Like I said, mine was Dwyer, though, the one with a W in there. The ones I knew, so I hope you're doing great. Welcome, Jennifer. Are you a door lady? Ooh, maybe. I'm looking around. You come to the right place. That's awesome. It's a good field to get in. Sure is. Holy crap. I am so sorry. Gosh, I hope I didn't hurt nobody. Fell over. Jennifer says, I like a lot of things. Hey, it's okay. I think most of us can all kind of agree. And if you're like me, I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Only, 41? Woodworking, cabinet making, cars, this and that. Nice. Heck yeah. No, it's good to know it all. I tell everybody, it's always about learn as much as you can. Learn as much as you can. That is for sure. Do it all. Garage doors is a good business. It really is. There's a lot of opportunity in it. And we always need them. You know what I mean? It's something that's just not going out of style anytime that I know soon. So it's just, and we need more field. Really need a lot more. We need a lot. The whole industry, everything, right? HVAC, you name it, all needs more of it. What you got? Oh, Papa Tony's picking on me. He says, is that all you are, 41, son? Oh, man, Tony. Oh, man. Why does Wayne Dalton use those garbage plastic retainers on the bottom of the 83 and the 85? Man, Robert, I'm so glad you brought it up. Sears style doors, they are garbage. He says they should use steel one like on the 8000 series. No, Robert, I agree, man. That's kind of the pitfall of those Wayne Dalton bottom retainers holding the bottom seal on. It's a shame. It's a shame because I've noticed if you do, it's the 8300, right? And I don't know the technical of it, right? But the 8300 is the L shape. So is it like on the L shape? Let's take a look here. Let's go over to the board here. This might help explain, right? Is this a good marker? This marker is not very good. We move on to another color marker. We try red. Red smells potent, like it's got juice. Yes. So you know how it's got the L shape? I'm gonna do this the best way. I'm like holding the camera. L shape, this is what, the 8300. I'm a lefty too, by the way. I'm using my right hand. So I should deserve a like. Anywho, so you put the screws back here, right? Now what I do, because we live in Michigan, I actually pull the rubber out, right? The rubber out of there where it's got its little grooves. And then I put screws underneath here too. That's what I do. So I put screws, I got some skinnier screws I use, and then I put screws in the backside. And then if we go to the, what is it? Is it the 80? I can do it. 8500. That's got the cup. And the cup is no good, right? Because the cup basically, it's a little stabler. So sometimes I only do the backside and I don't do underneath. But you know what I don't like about it? What the worst part about it is? This is the biggest problem with it. The biggest problem is if you have employees. As you expand or you grow, because this L shape, I even struggle with this L shape. Like if you ever done it before, you can feel it has like a weird catch to it. Like you can put it off tilter when you're screwing it down. And it's just one of those things that really irritates me that I'm like, you know what? Just do the darn thing. Just do the darn thing at the factory. Just put it on at the factory, please. So I've had those retainers. Those guys haven't put them up all the way. They're not suctioning it up. Guess who stopped by? Anybody know what this is? Anybody know what these symbols are? We'll see if anybody gets it before I dive into it. Cap told me about it today. Ooh. Jennifer says, yes, we can hear you. Awesome. What else do you got here? Tin Man. Make our own doors and angle mounts, tracks for both residential and commercial. It's also great for both new buildings and retrofits. Nice. I don't think, I'm curious, like Tin Man, like I'm just curious, like how many associates, I guess, in a sense, do you have? Like how big is the company in a sense? Because like for us, I don't think that's just, it wouldn't, I don't know what the cost savings and all that kind of would be, and then the extra manpower for that. Rusty Dave or any else. See the new spring cones that Service Spring and Clopay is using? What? They have a hole in the cone where the wire ends. It goes sideways if you go past. Is when reinstalling. I have not seen that. Interesting. Robert says, yes, 83 is L, but it's terrible. It is. It's really one of their biggest pitfalls, honestly. And that has made a really hard decision for me most time where I go, do you go with the 80? I mean, I've literally based the whole thing for customers on the 83, where it's like, do I go 83 because it's got the L shape and you don't see it? Because I got called out once. I don't know if Robert knows this, but I got called out. I did a nice job on the lake, real fancy house. It was a 3-stall garage. I think they were 9x7s, 9x8s, doing the happy dance, like, oh, this is going to be a sweet job. It's so great. And I ended up, they had a really sharp driveway that tilted off, and when the neighbor would go past, it looked like, because that bottom, that U-shaped one for the 8500, it looked like the door was open. So the neighbor was calling the customer of mine saying, hey, it looks like your garage doors are open. Like, you might want to shut them. So he's bugging him. Then he calls me and he's like, is there something we can do? Because it does look kind of ridiculous. And I'm like, why? This was supposed to be a profitable job. And now it's turning into, I had to buy aluminum retainers and different, extrusions and, Tin Man says it makes it cheaper and less inventory when you need to mount 2 inch or 3 inch track. Ooh, see, now we don't do much 3 inch. That's very, very rare for us, the 3 inch. Robert says, I didn't think of that. We are in Mississippi, so we don't worry about snow and ice. Ah, yes, snow and ice is a big. I tell you what, too. You guys can either comment or let me know, or text me or email me later on or something. But as I've gotten older, I've noticed that it's really, really seems like the weather has really gotten it's more extreme. You know what I mean? It's either like it's really hot, it's really cold. Like everything used to be, feel like when I was younger, it used to be more mellow, where stuff is really tipping. So like for instance, like an example up here in Michigan, we've had like really hellish, like this weird fog that we've never experienced out of, like I said, I've been doing this over 18 years, and we get this fog that comes in at night, and it'll zap, like it freezes at nighttime, so it screws up all the photo eyes across whatever the half of the state here with we'll have photo eye issues with gates. So they'll open, but they won't close because they think there's something in the way. The customers either got to go out there with their fingers because they're warm. But I never had that problem before with this fog, and we've had three of them over the past whatever 3-4 years. But it's just really weird. Like we just get some weird weather that just seems out of place. Makes it cheaper. Da-da-da-da. Rusty Dave, when we install a door, we remove the rubber and flip it 180 degrees and reinstall so it sticks inside and doesn't roll up the trim. Interesting. That's interesting. I don't know, Rusty. Maybe you have to show me. Show me a picture of that sometime. I'm just kind of curious. So it doesn't reinstall, so it doesn't stick inside. It doesn't roll up the trim. I'm trying to like imagine that. Like, why? Is it so it's like smooth? So it doesn't have that weird. Are we talking about the retainer? I don't know. Jets is in the house. We have 12 employees, 3 techs on the road, and 6 shop guys. The rest are office guys. Okay, so you got a pretty big crew there. Jess says, especially on those 1 and 3 stores, the rubber is always catchy. On the thinner doors. Yeah, I can kind of see what you're talking about. You're probably talking, what are we talking, like the 9,000 series doors for Wayne Dalton. It can get caught. That's why, like I said, see, now that we're talking about this bottom seal again, it always makes me just kind of revert back to the whole like 2 inch thick door. I just really feel, hey, we got up to 8 likes too. Thank you for the likes. I just look at it like the 2 inch thick doors are they're tried and true. They got the right thickness to keep the light from bouncing through the seams. They seem like they handle well. I'm just really a 2 inch thick door guy. I really just love 2 inch thick doors. I don't care what you do for installation, all that stuff. I always thought the best piece of advice I ever got one time from a guy, because I used to be really hardcore on the whole, like, oh, if it's not insulated, and he goes, think about it. He goes, you can have the best insulated garage door, but he goes, if it's not sealed up with weather seal, and think about the little piece of seal you got around the sides, and he says it don't have the gaskets in between, and it doesn't seal good to the floor, and the concrete's unlevel, or blah, 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 all kinds of stuff, right? He goes, what good does an insulated door do you when you're drafting in air? And I'm like, yep, that does kind of make sense. Like, yeah, makes good sense. Just think of when you're in a deer blind, right? You're trying to keep the wind off you. I mean, just to have something sealed instead of having a 2 inch gap blowing up your hiney, just having that wind keeps you a lot warmer, right? And it's not even maybe an insulated blind. It's just plywood or something. Russ says, when they package Clopay doors. Oh, okay. I think I know what you're saying. The bottom, okay, the bottom rubber sticks towards the inside of the door. And when the door is down, it rolls, oh, doesn't sit flat. Ooh, when you flip it, it sticks inside. Ooh, Rusty, you might be onto something. I think you might have, you might have just taught me a trick because there's something going on. I've been doing those ideal doors through Menards. I've noticed I haven't really sighted my eyes on it hardcore. Like, you know how it's like when you just like you shut the garage door, you're like, it's sealed, whatever. But in my psychological brain, I feel like the seal is doing something. Like it's beveled out because the ends how they're strapped. So like you said, maybe you pull it out. Plus it keeps it. Maybe it'll push the right way too in the corners. So it might not be a bad idea. Tanner says, I found on those 1 3/8 thick doors. I use I use my square thickness as my door spacer to the jamb and then set my track. It seems to work great every time. It's a little more gap, he says, then I usually do, but no issues. Interesting. 1 3/8. So you do your square on there, huh? That's pretty cool. Tin Man's guy, he says, I agree. 2-inch insulated doors are perfect thickness. Not too heavy to install, and they are they aren't flimsy. Yeah, I've had so many problems. Like I said, because what is it? The TS. They always like to kind of disguise it. The TS 125. I think it's only like 3/4 of an inch thick or something. But those darn screws. Let me see if one of the brochures here says it. Hey, we got one right here. We'll see if they say it. They always hide them. They always ticks me off how they hide them in these things. If anybody knows, throw it in there in the comments. I think it's like I said, I think it's inch and or it's just 3/4 or something like that. Oh, panel thickness. Here we go. Right here. Panel thickness 7/8. So it's 7/8 thickness. It's got an R value of 10.79, a U value of 0.093, but these little boogers, they're a great economical door, right? They're great, but they are scary as hell to install if you have employees, because I've done it myself. If you use the long self-tappers that you get from everybody and you get from Service Spring and that, and all of a sudden you go to put in the hinges or stuff like that, you'll screw right through the door. You'll punch a hole through it. So to me, it's just like, you know what? It's just not worth it. It's just not worth the headache because it's just not worth it. You know what I mean? I don't want to go back and change out panels, especially when it's your own doing. And then, like, how are you supposed to explain that to the vendor? You know, you're like, you sent me a panel with holes in it. And they're like, yeah, dude, look, there's holes in the backside. You put the hinge in. You obviously went through it too long of a screw. So it just turns out, like I said, the thinness of them too. There, that was the TS 125 that I did a whole building on for a tree company, and they ended up like I said, we put the last door in and it blocked off all the light. There was no light in this building. I could see daylight through all the sections, and I was like, oh my God, the sun was beating down this one side, just bouncing through it. I mean, just beams of light just coming through it. I was like, oh my gosh, so embarrassing. Tanner's guy, he says, love those 3-inch doors with 3-inch track and rollers. I don't mess with those big ones like that, Tanner. I come across them occasionally, but those are big boys. Those are big boys. Anybody dealing with, so this was what the brochure was. Looks like we have Steve, regional manager. Steve, I wish you the best, Steve. Hope you're doing good. So Cap was asking about this, and I did tell him, because I know we're dealing with What the heck? Are they selling garage doors too? Why is there a thing in there? But I told them, I said, you know, we've been having a lot of problems. There's a lot of problems with these other ones out there. Why does this? Like, why does this say this? It's the, what's this? Garage door. Oh, it's garage door. I thought it was Graga. Sorry. I was seeing it. I was like, are they selling garage doors and openers? Like, what's going on here? Oh, this is what I want to share because he did mention. I was just looking at this, going, "What is this goofy looking thing?" He said what he liked. Now this is just between me and you. Okay, don't be sharing this to nobody. This is top secret stuff. He says they got a commercial one that's direct shaft. It goes right on the shaft. What? What? Has my dreams come true? What? It goes directly on the shaft. No chain, no spreader bar. Oh, this is my first time even looking at this, you guys. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Goodness. Oh, I hope they're reliable. Oh, yeah. Oh, we got the remotes. Oh, they're sad, but dude. Dude. Direct. Now you got my attention. Somebody out there listening. So I said, I'm not a fan of programming them, but I haven't had one fail on me yet. I had one installed at the old house. I had one I put out in the field because they were nice enough to give me 2 to try, which I do appreciate. Thank you, Marantech, for giving me a couple to try. So I just told them, I said, you got to go with the better series. You can't go with the cheap. Don't go with the cheap ones. The lights don't work so good, blah, blah. But what I was super duper impressed, and you guys know me, I'm not getting sponsored. I'm not getting a nickel from this crap. I just tell you the real deal. This, right? I don't have their name on it. You got the symbol, but no name. But I unplugged the one that I tortured the hell out of mine. Unplugged it. We had brownouts. We had lightning strikes. I left it unplugged. I think at one point I was doing something out there for whatever reason. I had it unplugged for 6 months. Then it was like maybe about a year I had it unplugged too. Every time I plugged it back in, it always held its limits. I was very impressed with that. Never once missed a beat. Like I said, the light was weak. It was their cheaper model. They explained it to me. I think they even sent me additional lighting. I just never put it on. But the programming was rough. It was rough. But hey, right? I mean, if you're looking for something, you program it, you suffer for maybe an extra 10, 15, 20 minutes, and you have no callbacks, you know what? That might be worth it because callbacks, man, that's when you're driving out there. And that puppy, you know, that's when you're going to smash into another car or get into a car accident or hit a deer or whatever and have problems. You, Robert says, you can have those 3-inch storages. I'd rather install our non-insulated, non-wind load panel doors every day. Super light. It is kind of funny. Robert, how old are you? I'm just curious because you kind of sound like me. It's like the older I get, the lighter I like things. You can have those. Rusty says 3-inch thick clope is R27. Ooh, it's so nice. Because what is, I think the TS 150? 200. I think the 200 only goes 17. Yeah, it's only a 2-inch thick door, though. I think they came out with a thicker one. It's a TS 300 now, isn't it? I don't know what the TS 300 has. I don't know. Tanner says, oh, man, he says, non-insulated doors. He says, I put that in and the day off a service call category. Liftmaster can go direct to shaft with just a coupler. Can they? Are they run too fast? You sure about that, Rusty? Because I know you can't do it on the old. Well, you're talking the new Maximums. I bet that's probably what you're talking about. So that might be good. The Maximums, if they can go to they can do direct. Might be kind of nice. But I just still, somebody told me, I think these guys were the first DC guys. They were the first ones that ever came out. I think roughly somebody was telling me that these were the first guys that came out with DC motors. So like they're like the guys. You know what I mean? They're the guys that know the stuff when it comes to this. Um, so I don't know. Like I said, I just like the fact that they actually show you. It's goofy though. Like I said, it's goofy for install. I remember the goofiness, but like I said, never had a problem. Never had a problem. I actually had another one. Thought we had a problem because I made sure I installed them with people like I knew, and so one was through my uncle and for his customer. And I ended up what was it? He ended up he lost power. His what am I trying to say? The breaker, the GFI breaker tripped. They didn't know it because he's like, hey, he says he can't get in there, and I'm like, really? I'm like, well, I guess it took it went kapoof, and come to find out is he went out there and looked at it before I came out, and he said, hey, he said the GFI breaker was popped, reset it, it worked, and that's the stuff I get nervous about with some of the other stuff that I go, if you lose power, is it going to lose the memory? Not always, but I've had LiftMaster do it, but I haven't. And I've only, like I said, only got two that I believe, but I put them through a lot and never had a problem with them. Ooh, I wonder if those ones can do that. Rusty's guy says, watch out, Dave. He says they might just be a new Zap style opener garage. Garbage. They might be. There might be. I didn't know the Maximals were doing direct. If you could do it with a coupler. So that is kind of nice. But honestly, I think I might trust these guys a little more. I just, like I said, like I said, have to get a few more. I think it's one of those things I wouldn't venture out far with their product yet, but there's got to be somebody out there that's got something better, man, because this stuff is just getting ridiculous with the problems and stuff. And I must say, anytime I went to the IDA show, these guys were phenomenal. Very nice. Gosh, I can't think of the one guy's name. Seth or something? I haven't talked to him. Bryce. I think it was Bryce. Bryce was a cool dude. Super nice. Always stayed in contact. I think we got a few through Service Spring. He was a super nice guy. Decent motor like a Zap operator. 38. Oh yeah, Robert, he's getting up there. He's getting up there. Like I said, man, I'm telling you, it's hold your biscuits, because it might not be for you. It might not be for you, but when you turn 40, things change. Things change. Tanner says, Master, you can turn the speed down. That is nice. Tanner, have you done any of the maximums with like a direct couple? Has anybody? And turn the speed down where you can kind of turn it up and down? Okay, Rusty has, and he says, I haven't installed a maximum like that. He says, I've gone direct drive on 1-horse jack shaft models. Robert's got them over the pretty heavy doors. He says, they're cool, but they're on customers' houses, so I don't want to break my back anymore. He says, I'd rather install pan doors all day. He says, I'm not going to I'm going to not push better. I think it was something on there. It's amazing, man. Like I tell you, I think I've had it for probably when I was 36, 37, 38, right in that age. You do realize how much more you have to really, this might resonate with some of you guys, right? So here's the thing, right? I always like this saying, right? Just imagine if you were growing up, right, and you're a kid or whatever, and they say you can only get one car. You can pick any car you want, but you only get one car. and you say, and then you take care of that car, right? You change the oil in it because you only get one car. Change the oil in it. You take really good care of it. You'd wash it. You'd wax it. You keep it in the garage. Oh yeah, yeah. Think about it. It's no different than your body. It's no different than your life. It's no different than, a lot of things. You know what I mean? So you got to really take care of yourself. It really adds up. You know what I mean? Make sure you're doing the best you can, even if you got to pay out of pocket. Do the hygiene stuff. Do the teeth. Do the whatever. Do whatever you got to do for yourself. You know what I mean? Exercise. Eat good food. This food is so bad for us nowadays. It's out there, and I'm guilty of it too. I mean, it's literally like I like pop a little bit, and it's like drinking this stuff. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's a lot of chemicals. A lot of chemicals. So you got to watch it. Rusty says, I use a center spring coupler product, but like install pan doors. I don't blame you. I like installing pan doors. I said, lighter the better, man. Every time I pick up stuff, even those openers, the DC ones now, it's like, ooh, man, this is way lighter than what I'm used to, especially when you take out one doing a retro. You like take out the old ones, you're like, oh, big, heavy AC, it's so heavy. Not that it's really when it's 7 foot, but you put up the next one, you're like, I got this. This is so easy. Rusty's got, Robert, are you the owner of the company? Oh, John's in the house. What's up, John? John's here. He says, I've installed 2. He says they need be geared perfectly depending on the style and size of the door. If not, then it causes issues with setting the limits and whatnot. Programming was easy. Gotcha. The only thing. Says Tanner's guy says, no, Shane, in that Robert, they have their place, man. He says, I live in Iowa, so not a ton of non-insulated doors here. I get that. He says we do a bunch of commercial size, the egg buildings, so lots of 24 by 18, 30s doors. Yeah, Tanner does the big doors, the big daddy doors. Okay, Tony's guy says, yes, the speed control, the middle speed, usually the best. Interesting. And I think for John, the only thing I had a question on for John, though, is that we're talking the LiftMaster, right? The maximums. I mean, I just want to make sure we're not talking about the Morantec. Commercial industry is what I have dealt with. Metal. Tanner says I pick a Duramax. Take the Duramax. That's right. Tony, that's right, Dave. That's why you need the wonderful Surewinder. Forget Tony. Tony, we don't need no Surewinder. We got the spring turner. That's right. And it just sits here and nobody uses it except for me, but it's okay. What's that Tin Man guy? He says, LiftMaster made a big mistake making the maximum adjustable speed. Had a dairy farmer destroy his door. Cause he was able to figure out how to speed. Oh no, speed the door up. Oh man. Aren't they supposed to have like codes? They're probably, oh man, like who's going to change it? I'm not changing the codes. I want everybody, including myself, Bill, again there, right? Dang, dude, that's crazy. Somebody sped it up. Golly, I could see somebody doing that too. So seeing a customer. Customers love it, right? I've installed openers too, and they're like, why is it so slow? And I'm like, it's good slow. Slow is safe. Slow is like less wear and tear. And they're like, but it's so slow. And I'm like, this is a big door, man. Oh, hey, we got 8 likes too, by the way. Let's see here. I don't like Pandora's because it's the same work for less money, because less markup on product. Yeah, that could be true. It all depends. Tony, I agree with you. Tony says, I agree with you. Tin Man. Robert, we make a decent profit off of pan doors. Yeah, I don't, it's kind of weird. Like some of that pricing can be, like, I mean, you should right technically mark it up, but for the most part, besides it being, no, I do now. I ain't gonna lie. Like we do mark them up a little bit more in a sense, but to me, it's like a door's a door. I gotta pull the tools out the same, except for the weight, and then there's the possibility of liability, or if you got to bring a helper, that adds up. But for the most part, garage door, garage door. I got to pull the same tools out. To me, it's kind of just it's the same amount of time. I don't really care if it's insulated. I mean, within reason. I mean, you're talking like a 3-inch thick door or something. Yeah, I guess a little different. Tony says, I was gonna say it looks. It was. Oh, Tony says I was gonna say it looks awful clean. It does, man. I even scuffed it up a little bit. I was kicking it around in the scissor lift, just trying to get it so make sure the guys weren't like, well, I don't want to touch that, because it's precious, Hell no, man. Use that thing. Tear it up. Try to break it. That's what it's here for. It's here to use that instead of your shoulder. Robert says, Rusty, we wear shorts in December and January. Holy cow. Not many people want insulated doors around here. Oh, yeah, I guess so. They only get them from custom color choices offered. Those series doors. Dang, man, I got to come work with Robert. I'm all about in January, December and January, being in shorts. That's my style. I hate shoveling snow. Russ says, Robert, where are you? I think he was in Missouri. Tin Man, he said, on customers like that, you need to mount the maximum wall station up by the head, or on top, so it's not seen. Then just wire up is it OG open close stop button on the wall. Okay, and just set the opener and keep one on the truck in case you need to reset something sometime. Interesting. Mississippi, Robert. That's a good idea. Mount it up so I can't see it. But of course, you know how it is. If they know the model, you leave a manual. Keep one on the truck in case you reset something. John's got, if the owner has access to the manual, the code for getting into the perimeters is in the manual. Tin Man says, great idea, but I'm sure they still figure it out. He says, just like figuring out chain sprocket size. Ooh, makes the door go faster. Only good thing is the callback to clean up the mess. Interesting. Tanner says, will the old 3 buttons still work on maximums? 20's guy says, when I installed those, maximum, he says, made sure I took the manual with me for that reason. Don't want them getting in there effing things up. I'm just curious, do you guys like, obviously Tony does them. I am curious to know, do you guys, so like, I guess more on like the residential. So like on residential, I don't know why I'm weird like this, but residential, I leave the manual. Like I'll leave the opener manual, but I don't leave the garage door manual typically. Now, I did leave it at the one customer because it was Menard / Ideal. I didn't purchase it. And I heard that he said he was talking about, he's like, he might want to paint the door. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to leave the manual here because I just saw it's probably got instructions in there how to paint the door with what kind of paint and blah, blah, blah. I recommended that he didn't. I said the factory is going to be way better. But I typically don't ever leave the manual for the garage door. I will leave the manual. I will leave the manual for the opener. And then if it's commercial, I'll put it up in by the opener somewhere. I'll hang it in the rafter somewhere. I'll find it in the pan, up in the gusset somewhere. Sometimes I've crammed them in the back of the openers, or I try to leave those for other green installers or myself, even if I come to it and I'm like, do I remember what I had to do to reprogram this thing or do something. So I try to leave them up by the head units typically, in the bag if they're in a bag, which is nice, keeps the dust off and lasts a little longer depending on the environment. But yeah. Install Maxima. This is Robert. We are scared of the new Maxima operators. Robert says so many people with issues on Facebook groups. Ooh, I might have to have some of you like direct me some of these Facebook groups to go to. Some good ones. Like this got a lot of people. Should let me know. I don't know the best way. Either text me the 231-720-9675 or email me. I guess you could try to do stuff on Facebook. I just Daveadubson, I think, is what I got. Or message me through Messenger. Not real good with Facebook. I don't do a lot of Facebook. I just go on Marketplace. That's about it. But Robert's right. I think I'm with Robert. I'm kind of like the guy too that's like, I heard it from Cap even. Like we're kind of sitting off on the sideline, kind of waiting to see how the Maximums play out because they're more expensive. So it's like, okay, if they're more expensive, then what's the benefit? And then they haven't been proven to us. Where, like I said, we do a lot of the Genie commercial ones, the top end ones. Don't do the middle of the road; those ones are junk. But they're top end ones, and like I said, out of all of them, we just hardly ever go back. If we do, it might be a power issue. Like the opener will tell you there's a brownout. The power's not significant, but we haven't done those circuit boards. We just don't have any weird goofy stuff with them. But I still like the idea about a direct couple or direct on the shaft for a commercial. What'd be interesting is if you can blow a spring and it still works without getting too bad. Station like overhead door. This is commercial direct couple and program from wall. The Tin Man says code is printed on back of the wall station. Yeah, how do you hide that? Tanner says, yes, sir, Rusty. That's why it has the 2 screws. No connectivity side by side. He says, and the 3 screws in a row. The wall station, you can set open, close, stop buttons in the head. He says, you just don't need common anymore. Gotcha. Tony's guy. He says, residential, I leave the manuals. Commercial, I take them with me because you'll get some dumbass that thinks he knows it all. Let's see, John. He says, I work a lot with high-speed doors, and we never leave the manual behind except for owner's manual. Interesting. One other thing, too, just for some people that are maybe come across us that are new guys that are getting into the business or whatever, remember, I screwed up one time. Not all of them, but sometimes you work for these builders, the big builders, Red Steel Building. I'm sure some other ones do it too. You might want to keep all the manuals and any warranty and paperwork because I had them call me out one time. It's like, hey, we need all the warranty stuff on this. We need the manuals for all the doors. The owner wants them, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I threw them away in the boxes. Oh my gosh. So I had to like call the manufacturers and have them resend me stuff and print them offline. It wasn't fun. Where if I would have just kept them all, at least to the end of the job until you got fully paid and let it go by for however long you want, a couple months, 6 months, a year. Or that's why I just started stashing them up in the rafters or the red steel. Because that way, if they were like, we need all the manuals to every one of this for warranty issues or warranty claims, I'd be like, oh, okay, not a problem. They're all up in this header. I'll go grab them. They're all just sitting up there. And that way they weren't plugging up my truck or whatever. Rusty says, Tanner, I've used a 98 032 or the old school 1 horsepower LiftMaster with chain hoist to get around having to install the Maximums. What's up, Evan? Been hanging out, just chilling. Hello. Make sure you don't forget to hit the like button. Just helps bring more like-minded people like you. And it helps wake up the algo. Tony says, I'm not a fan of the new ones. I think they're weak. I don't think they're made to last. Yeah, I just don't know how you could beat an old AC motor, man. It's so hard. Those things chop your fingers off. DC just seems, every time I think of a DC, I always think of an RC car, right? You know how RC cars, they can spin really fast, or do whatever you want, go real slow, spin real fast, but you can grab it. It just doesn't have the torque. And I know it can all be supplemented with gearing and stuff like that, but why? Why are they doing it? Why? Why? Because it's cheaper. And that doesn't normally mean better for us. Cheaper is not good. Tanner says, I have not had any real issues with Maximus. He says, I have installed a ton of them since they came out and didn't like them at first, but once you play around with them, read the manual, I think. Tony says, I know, Tanner, I can't believe that message you working in. He says, it just seemed cheap. Eric's like, hey, he says, hi again. What's up, Eric? Glad you're here. I jumped back on. What's up, Freeze? What's up? He says, Eric Scott, hey, Tony. He says, anything? Yes, I'm with Tony on that. He says, other than a few things leery about, he says, I'm not sure on longevity of them. Yeah, it'll be interesting because then who was telling me? Or one of you on here that was telling me about didn't they just pull them? They're revamping something on there, the shaft or something for a disconnect. So I don't know, man. I just don't know. I really have lost ever since was it what we were talking about, the 3265, whatever, the earlier one. Ever since that era, I've really lost respect for LiftMaster. I really have. I don't know if they're going to be able to win me over. We're going to start we got some of the Resi openers again, but I just have no belief that they do it for our benefit. Even, was it the Brazilian hot dog guy when he was talking about the wall button? I think Eric, you led me over to him. They were talking about the wall button doesn't have the 2 clicks anymore. It only has the 1 click. It's basically for cost savings. Man, I just don't know, man. I just, it seems like they're constantly finding ways, like when they, I'm gonna walk out in the dark for a second, but I'll come back to the light. I always do. It's too scary. I just want to throw some stuff out in the truck. I don't know. They just, when they did their J-arm, remember when they got the J-arm, it used to be a solid piece of metal. And then they went to, it's dark as crap out here. They, there we go. Shine a little light on this. Maybe I can put it on my face too. I can't, it won't go down. But, when they went to the J-arm, where they stamped it now to make it lighter, and I had to put one the other day. I had to put one up. My nut and bolts on for Resi. I put them on the wrong way. Turn the camera on. Now you can see what I'm looking at. Versus just seeing a bright light in your face. I apologize. Hey, we got up 10 likes too. Thanks for the likes. So that J-arm always kind of ticked me off, when they went to that J-arm with the stamped, cost savings. Oh. So that was just one thing that always kind of irked me. They did that. Suppose the wall buttons got the fact that they don't have what are they? The dry contacts or whatever anymore. Or you got to have the circuit board. That just irks me. You know what I mean? I had so many people that screwed me on, for residential. Photo eyes. I had problems with photo eyes with the wire. Even though I used LiftMaster photo eye wire, I had to use heavier gauge wire just to make it work. I don't know if any of you guys ever experienced that with the photo eyes. If you try to use the same gauge wire over a longer distance on the commercial stuff, it like freaks out. Like it can't go that distance. Even though I bought the LiftMaster wire from them, so I had to go to our shielded wire. Just weird stuff. What's up, Freeze? I know Tanner or something. Tanner, anything? Yes, Tony. About longevity, Robert Scott. Garage door text, LiftMaster tech talk, garage door text wall. Okay, all right, let me screenshot this. There we go. Do. If it'll pull off there. Perfect. Thanks for sharing that, Robert. John says a customer already broke the plastic emergency manual, operational mechanism-ish thingy, right? Dang. Eric's guy says, I don't know about those maximum ops. He says, we dropped LiftMaster for board issues a while ago. We do Genie and the Moranis. He said, Eric, did you ever, have you ever done any of the circuit boards on the Genies? I'm just curious. Have you had to ever replace any? I'm talking like on the commercial. Because these were the ones, right? The Logic 5. Logic 5 started having problems. You know, changed quite a few circuit boards in the Logic 5s. And then the Genie, though, the commercial style, these guys, never done a circuit board in here. I tried to reinvent the wheel, make it a direct couple, and I broke a shaft. That was a no-no. But that was my own fault. But never, ever. I don't know. I just, if you got power and you leave that commercial opener powered up, it's fine. The only problem I ever have with them is they get a little goofy. They don't like extension cords. The generators are always a little goofy. But we've had really good luck with instead of using a generator, we use that power pack right here. The DeWalt power pack. That works great. You don't got the exhaust. You don't got the smell. It works really good. I gotta look at that motor. Customer already broke plastic. I don't know what maximum option. Tanner says, I'm sure they're revamping the disconnect on the non-chain hoist shaft because there is not one. It was weird, Tanner. I heard something about, like, I thought they were extending it. Like, there's something there, something talking about, like, a nub somebody was, and then they're extending that out longer. Maybe that's, like, the output shaft or something. Maybe it wasn't the disconnect. Or maybe they were talking both. Rusty says, Dave, he says, we are talking about painting doors, and today I gave a quote for a 17 10-inch said by 7 modern steel door, custom brown color. Sherwin-Williams partners with Clope, adds about 16. Woo, man, from the factory. Holy macros, lot de muchos. Yeah, this guy, he ended up doing he was doing one of those Menards doors. You know, I wasn't no part of it. He just was going to, you know, his house, everything's white. I don't know if he was just trying to look for a different shade of white. But I might have thrown him off the scent because I just said, hey, man, I said, you can't beat the factory paint. You just, you know, otherwise it flakes after a couple years. If you don't prep it right. Like when it comes to painting doors, garage doors, I'm always like, you need to hire like a professional painter. Like somebody goes, I know how to make that stick real good. I've done this for, you know, I've been in the business for 40 years. And you're like, that's the guy you need. Oh, what was that? Eric says, what was I doing? In the beginning of the live, if you scroll back, whatever, I got a Power Master. I'm going to try to resurrect. It's been sent outside. It's time. It's time for it to get some new life. I'm wondering if I can steal some parts. There's a jack shaft in here. I don't know if the motor will be compatible, but it's just sitting here. And eventually, I gotta come through and help Cap out at some point, and probably go through. There's like stuff that's just left over, kind of from when I was running the show, and just they don't know what to probably do, if it's good or bad. Scrap the stuff, some of the stuff. You know what I mean? It needs to go. Just to help clean it up a little bit, especially with winter coming. It'd just be nice to make a little extra more room. Evans guy said, I pulled out a Wayne Dalton Quantum on Monday. Was it normal for those machines to have detachable, sprockets? He says, it didn't seem like the gear was stripped, he says, but he says I was very loose. Huh, I don't think so. Still spun. Huh, sound like something internally must have let loose. Eric says, I'm not sure about the Quantum. He says, but the Challenger has a plastic coupler. Oh, coupler. I never messed with the Genies, only the Maranus. Okay, okay. Robert's got Rusty Wayne Dalton quotes us $450 per square foot for custom colors. Yeah, the old Wayne Dalton. Tony says, hey, that DeWalt Power Pack. What does the Power Pack cost and how big batteries do you have to have on it? So the Power Pack, I got really lucky. I was at a job site and this guy ended up winning them or something. So he sold me the Power Pack itself was really cheap. I can't remember he sold it to me for like $50 or something, right? I always just go with the biggest. I don't think you have to, but I went with the biggest batteries. I haven't used it in a while, so I'm not really sure how to even use it. But I went with their bigger ones. These are the 60 volts. It works good. I still think I like this DeWalt better than I do my, I got a Milwaukee Power Pack. I don't know, the DeWalt just feels so much, I just like how the handles are. It feels lighter to me. I don't know, I really adore this thing. I like it, I like it better than Milwaukee. And just power it up. I'm gonna plug it for a second here. Lights are off, it's got this little beep. Away you go, you got power. The Milwaukee seems like the fan runs more on it. It's nice. It's really nice. It's so much better than having a generator. And dealing with the smell. I've had this just up in the rafters, running garage door openers. Super nice. Super nice. Some of you guys, I was always bummed. I really like the Honda generators. And then they ended up, I should check this. Holy crap, they haven't changed the oil in this thing? My goodness. So we ended up upgrading, just changing out inventory. And this thing had a recall on it. These are great, still great. You can't beat a Honda, right? You just can't beat a Honda. But, I don't know, I was a little disappointed it had a recall. And, it's it's not really noisy. It's just the fumes, right? It's something, you tip it over, it's got oil in it, it's got gas in it. You put it up in a lift, the voltage. What's nice about this, with that Power Pack, which I never knew, is it's a capacitor. So you can throw a lot at it. Like when the opener starts up, it starts up like, just like it's on regular power. Where when you're on the Honda generator, it's blah, 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 and you're like, come on. And then it's blah, 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 and it goes up. That doesn't do that. That's a capacitor, man. That thing's got nothing but power and it's ready to go. So that's what's beautiful about that too. You don't get that weird jolt stuff going on. So we've had good luck. Maybe that's why we haven't had to go back to a lot of Genies, is because we're using that Power Pack where the frequency is different on those generators. But Tony, get yourself one. I'd go with the DeWalt if you're a DeWalt guy, but like I said, I'd still buy that DeWalt over the Milwaukee. I don't know why. The Milwaukee one just doesn't entertain me that much. That one's a great unit. Liftmaster Evan, he says, Eric, he said, I wasn't sure the customer had told me that the chain had screwed up and first time in 6 years. Huh. I go, so they were cool with me replacing it. Plus, I didn't want to fix it just for it to break again. I think Evan made the right call. Don't mess, I'm telling you. Really, 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 even Uncle Dave here, these openers, they're these. Now, this one's a little fancier, right? I got this at the gas station. I just got this one, right? I haven't used this in a while. Let's see what this thing works. Oh. But once these break, throw it away, and go get another one. That's what these openers are turning into. Just anything you come on. I don't even know what the threshold should be. If anybody would like to comment, I'd love to hear it. Hey, we got 11 likes. Thanks for the likes. Because I'm thinking a year. If they're over a year old and they got problems, we only warranty them for a year. And we're not replacing them, or we're not repairing them. We just replace them. That's what I'm thinking, because there's just too many problems with them. They're just having way too many issues. That's why some of you guys, you'll see the video when it comes out. I did one today, right? And I told lady, it was the older, it was from 2005. And I said, I really want to try to make this opener work. We might still have to go back. We might have to go back. But it was still functioning. And I said, I'm telling you, this opener, I said, is better than what's in that box. And she's like, I trust you. I believe you. Let's give it a go. And I said, you don't have nothing to lose. I said, because otherwise, I said, I will come back and I will gladly change it out. I said, but I said, right now, I said, and I was happy because when I tore out the cover, there was no snowflakes in it. No snowflakes. So the gear was all good. I don't know. Eric Scott, he says, if you don't want to use a power pack, you can just run generator through an interrupter table power supplies. Holy cow, Eric. You gotta speak English, man. Man, that's high-tech stuff. I mean, that's like the flux capacitor in Back to the Future. Tanner says it depends what generator you use. If you're using a cheaper, loud generator, it's not clean power, that's for sure. Honda Gentex quiet generators, something of that nature is clean power generator. And I've learned, yes, there is definitely, Tanner is totally right. The generator is a huge difference. You got to spend the money. You got to go with the better ones. Because there's what the difference there's a generator. And then there's an inverter. You want the inverter, right? Like, I'm pretty sure the Honda says it, right? Check. I'm pretty sure it says inverter on it. It's an inverter. Where are you, Honda? Do you say inverter on you? Yes, it does. It says it right here. It's an inverter. It needs to be an inverter. Got to be an inverter. But, like I said, we've had a little bit of glitches with the Genie commercial openers programming them. But I tell you what, man. That power pack is freaking sweet. Spend the money. Don't buy another inverter or generator. The only thing that's bad, obviously, is if you're out in the field and you need to like keep charging batteries, you're working on a big job, probably like what Tanner does. And there might be no power there. You gotta have a power or a generator. And so like what's nice is you can kind of have a dirty generator. I don't think I'd recommend it because in case your power pack has a failure, but obviously you can charge those batteries on a dirty, generator. But I always play it safe, right? I don't want to be caught without, I'd rather have both. So it's really nice. You can have something that, and plus those Hondas are quiet. So if you're charging batteries and stuff like that, you can throw it around the side of the building. And it's, you just don't even hear it really. And what's nice about, like when I've worked on commercial jobs too, sometimes we get into that where you get like one door that is like the main door for everybody, including yourself. Like maybe if the weather's not good and you're just like, hey man, let's get that door stacked up, get the weather out of here, get the wind or whatever. But you still got to go in there. You're driving vehicles, or maybe they got scissor lifts or sky tracks, whatever, right? That thing, I've literally taken that and I've left it up in the rafters, and I don't have to worry about it. It can be up there sideways. I can hang it by a rope, and then the door is good to go. Now, when I leave, it goes with me, and then they get all sad. But I'm like, for now, basically, we have power. You know what I mean? Like up there, and it works really nice for that kind of stuff. To where you can put, you can put it sideways, where generators, they leak, they, burn them up. They're not sitting level. John says, anyone experience with commercial, was this Macon/Nice commercial operators? We switched to them because we had issues with LiftMaster. Man, I don't even think I've ever heard of that. Nice commercial operators. Let me take a screenshot. I have to look that up tonight. Let's see. Can't say I've ever. Here says that 2 years ago from an electrician I was installing for they are better in electronic devices. They call them camping generators for cell phones, computers, TV, stuff like that. So the garage door circuit boards fail that category. Yeah, you got to be careful of those inverters. I learned it the hard way. I literally had lights similar to this that were all out in the shop. I bought like 10 of them or something like that. 15. I can't remember. I bought at the shop. And I had, God, I can't think of it right now. It's a Menards. It was a Menards generator. Just a dirty, cheap generator. Loud, you know what I mean? Just did the job though, right? And we were literally running, we had a trailer outside before the shop was all done. We had a trailer outside we were working out of, me and the secretary. A little enclosed trailer, had a couple little benches and stuff in there. And we still got the trailer. It's the blue one out back. Yeah, it's our fence trailer. But anyways, we were running that. I had lights in here so we could see what we were doing because we were getting concrete poured and stuff. And all of a sudden one day I come in and all the lights didn't work. Flipped the light, nothing. Didn't flitter, didn't short, just the lights don't work. What the heck? Something must be wrong with the generator. The guy who worked for me at the time, he was an electrician, so he goes up there and he goes right to the outlets, right? And he's like, "There's no power." He goes, "There's power here." I go, "Wait a minute." So there's power at the outlet, and I said, "But the lights aren't on." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, we killed all the ballast, everyone." And it wasn't like they all flittered. I mean, it was just like you flipped the switch, the lights were out. There was nothing. And I went, "Oh my gosh." Well, that's when I learned difference between an inverter and a generator and stuff like that. And here we are running, laptops off this. So we went and got a Honda. It was like, no more using this generator. And then I took all those lights back to Menards. I couldn't believe it. I took whatever, 10, 15 of them. Because I called the manufacturer because I was trying not to take them back to Menards. Because I was just like really embarrassed about taking that many lights and be like, "Yeah, they don't work." And they'd be like, "Yeah, right. Get out of here." But it's kind of like that whole thing I always tell you guys about the ignorance of these box stores, right? They're customer satisfaction guaranteed type of stuff. So I went in there with a shopping cart, 2 shopping carts full of these lights, unboxed everything. I had the receipt and I pushed them up. The lady looks at me and she's like, "What's wrong with them?" And I said, "They don't work." And she goes, "Okay." She goes, "Do you want a refund or do you want to go get new ones?" And I was like, "I want a refund." I said, "Because I'm not going to use these again," or something. I think I went to something different. And she took care of it. And I was like, "I'll be darned." Because I called the manufacturer and they were like, "You need to go to whoever you bought them from." And I'm like, "Okay." Like, I'm just trying to like get ballast, like the little ballast for them or something. Rusty says, door will be for wealthier customer and is spending 10,000 plus on door and operator. I will get him whatever color he wants. I don't think Wayne Dalton's color is sometimes. I had a bad experience with Wayne Dalton color. You know what I mean? I think they weren't really technically supposed to paint. I think it was green, navy or forest green on I think it was 9600 or 9100. And like when I was putting up the weather seal, I was on the outside. The sun was baking on my neck. I was definitely turning into a redneck that day. And I'm like looking at it, and I kept thinking, your eyes are playing because the sun's beating on it. I kept thinking, bird shit on this thing. I'm like looking at my shoulder and stuff. I'm all like, "There's bird crap on this thing. What the, And I kept looking at it, and I went, "What the?" I said, "It looks like there's white pits in it. Like they took a roller and just rolled over. Like it wasn't sprayed with a machine, or they didn't use the sheet metal, at least with a base coat of a green. It was like they rolled over it." And I was like, if you look at this door really closely in the little divots, you could see just pins of white. Like it didn't soak in there. And I was like, "Oh my gosh." And this customer was so adamant about having a green door, forest green. And I already priced this, and then it backfired. Like, we can't get it. I was gonna have to upgrade them to another certain different model that was gonna be X amount of dollars, and they just weren't having it. I already put a lot of work into it, for getting this job, and they were basically like, "If you can't do it, we're gonna use somebody else." And I'm just like, and they made it happen for me, but the color wasn't too good. I wasn't too impressed. There's a circuit board falls in that category. Eric, he says, "You should work on that Power Master on a live. Yeah, I should. I also want to see if you can get one of those Safeways in the dumpster going again. We should check out the dumpster. Should we check out the dumpster? We should check out the dumpster. I want to go outside. It's hot in here, man. Oh, I got up to 76 in here. It's cold outside. It's hot in here. We'll go outside for a second here. Let me make sure. Oh, yeah, you guys are blowing it up. Sweet. Clean power. Whatever they want. Robert says, I have gotten a red door. What's this? Factory dumpster. Yeah, factory custom paint is usually terrific. He says, yeah, the factory custom paint is usually terrific. Yeah, the factory one, right? Custom paint. Those are inverter generators with clean power. Rich B, what's up, Rich? I don't have nothing. I don't think I got a drink with me today. Robert, I have gotten a red door from Wayne Dolan to match to the owner's red Corvette before. Ooh. It says for some reason Clope couldn't do color he wanted. Huh. Robert says they use Sherman-Williams also, so I don't know why. That is weird. They all got their weird little glitches. Robert is Coachman style. Not sure if that matters. I have all vehicles loaded with. I have all the vehicles loaded with DeWalt's. That's what Tony says. He's a DeWalt guy. Got any old 18 volts there, Tony? I just had a 25 ribbon non-insulated door painted black to match 3-inch insulated door. 24 by 18 black. Oh my gosh, dude, that scares me. That big a door being black. I've not came across a company who does black ribbed. Eric says the Power Pack is probably one of the tools that Ryobi don't make. Ooh, that's a good question, man. Eric, you should let me know. You find out, let me know. I'm just curious. Now you got me curious, man. I kind of got a soft spot for Ryobi. I know they're kind of the beginners and people, but they just seem to always have. Now the opener that came out with, I don't know about that. I don't know if I can be a fanboy of that. I think they obviously quit doing that. Somebody told me for whatever reason. I tell a customer anything over 15 years, you might as well replace. Yeah, I agree, Tony. I just feel like to make it easier, at least in the business wise, for the guys in a sense when you got employees. I just keep thinking it's gonna be like, oh man, it feels so nice out here. Let's get this light going. I just feel like you gotta be like, oh, wrong way, dummy. It's just a year, you know what I mean? The problem is when you got employees and you're paying employees. When you go out there as a technician and you're an owner operator, it's so much easier. You can, you know what you're looking at. You know probably what it's going to be. You can make those decisions. But when you got technicians, it's tough when they go out and it's like you're better off just saying, we're going to place. The customer gets irritated. They make bad reviews. Let's see if anything's new in the old dump. 15, Tony's got, although the Challenger went 35 years and you can still get gear sprockets assemblies for $21. Heck yeah, man. We got a ton of rain, man, and it is flooded in here. Wow. I don't know if any of you guys got it, but we got about 4.5, 5 inches of rain in one shot yesterday. And dang, is this dumpster full of water. Full. What's up with these fancy doors? We don't normally have fancy doors like this. Is this one of the... I'm trying to look, see if this is... No, this one's a Clope. That says Clope. That's not a Horman. Or Holmes. I'm sorry, Holmes. The old Stanley's still there. She's probably a little wet. Looks like the Challengers are covered up. Somebody covered them up. I wonder what's up with these doors, though. That one's got some... Oh, you know what these might be? There was a customer for a U-Haul. There was a U-Haul customer. It's a little farther away. That might be the guy. There's a circuit board. Anybody want a circuit board? I'll sell it to you. $10. That's not including shipping, though. Oh, it goes back to the opener here. Let's wrong with that one? I think the gear looks like it's shot on the old half horsepower. Oh, I missed the mechanical limits. Oh, I miss them. Just missed the mechanical limits. Oh, there they are. There they are. They still can be saved. They still can be yours. Huh. All kinds of goodies. Anybody got a cheap scissor lift? This scissor lift's about going to be retiring pretty soon, I believe. It's not this year. It's going to be the beginning of next. The old Skyjack. She's tired. She's done good. Until I was 15 years old, 35. Sprockets, that's crazy. As far as I know, Tanner, Clopay doesn't make black commercial, but just released black doors in residential 40/50 inch and 3/8. Oh my gosh. How dare them in such a thin door. Sky's here. He says, cheers, everyone. Actually, this will make me think. I'm going to see if I don't think I got anything to drink. Darn it. What's up, Sky? Thanks for the info the other day. Really appreciate it. Heck yeah. Well, this is the guy. This is the one. We'll see about if we can. I abused it, man. It's totally my fault. God darn it. If I would have used one of those Tuffy garbage bags, if I wasn't such a cheap ass on the garbage bags, it would have lasted longer outside. Thing is, I'm wondering if we got a motor off that other one. I gotta see what this is. Huh. Bummer. Winner, chicken dinner. No drinkies. No drinkies. But look at this. Your lift master ain't got that. Eric says, if any of those Honda have a I at the end of the model number, okay, there you go. It's an inverter. Makes sense. No problem. Glad I could help, Mr. Sky says. Whew. What else do we got? No problem, he says. And use a short cord. You can get away with, he says, I try and don't go over 25 feet, but nothing over 50 foot. Nice. Is that nice, not linear? Rusty says, what's Rusty says? Tanner, I'm running the 98032 in my shop, about 200 feet cord. Holy cow. And it hasn't given me any issues yet. Wow. That's crazy. Is it McCannon? He says, is a Canadian commercial garage door opener manufacturer. What do you think, Eric? I trust your opinion. What do you think? You mess with them? You believe in them? Rusty, the only issues I've had is my good 100-foot cord from my truck to, so I need it. Robert says, nice operators are linear. Oh, so the nice operators are linear. Ooh, man, I don't know about that. That scares me. Robert just said the word, man. Those are linear. Were we talking commercial on those? Or those resis? Because I thought Lanier got rid of all their commercial. They don't do commercial anymore. I did a commercial job. Didn't turn out so good with the commercial Laniers. Says, yay. Says, I've done the same thing, but my electrician says only if you have to. The draw on the cord can pop power circuit boards, so they say. I believe it. There's something goofy when you run stuff on those cords. They don't like that stuff, that long distance. Yeah, linear is Because the Lanier is garbage. She says, I'm not a fan. Same with Horman operated. I cannot stand the Hormans. The Hormans don't make any sense. The biggest thing with the Horman, I do not understand, and nobody's. I think we have talked about this a little bit. Is that button you got to push to make the disconnect work? And I'm like, what's the point of even having a disconnect if I got to get up and push the button, then pull this lever? I've had a lot of problems with them. What does that say here? Yeah, linear is garbage. Yeah, he says linear. He says linear rep calls us once a week trying to get us to buy them. And if anybody can let me know, when we're talking linear, right? We're not talking commercial. We're talking residential. Because linear, as far as I know, I thought the commercial, they don't do any commercial jack shafts anymore. Trolleys, the commercial's gone. Just residential. There's got hi Rusty and Tanner. Tony says all 20 volts. Tanner said I had a 11 T75 LiftMaster 5.0 operate under 4 foot of water this year. Oh, that's right, you did. And just wired them dry 2 nights ago. 5 worked, 3 motors are locked up, and sparked a bunch. Oh, that's good to know. I'll make sure I'm not around a bunch of gasoline. Had no hope. That's funny. No hope for them. I'm assuming he's got here. Wayne Dahl says if we order black doors down here, he says they won't be warranted. Ooh, because of how hot it gets. That's interesting. I'm glad Robert mentioned that. I'm really glad that Robert mentioned that because this was quite a few years ago, but they were having problems in Arizona, and I thought black doors in Arizona. I thought, how could you? How could you even think of that? Like, and they were doing something. They were trying. They acted like they're trying to change something, and I thought, change? What the hell do you change? I mean, isn't like Arizona and all that down there? It's like where like garbage can lids melt. Like what? Huh? Like what do you do? Like what do you do? It's just hot, man. Like you just don't sell black doors. You know what I mean? Like you don't sit your ass on the asphalt down there. That's for sure. You know what I mean? So you don't sell black doors down there. Eric's got Rowley made an awful garage door opener. I know. I almost wanted to get one for one of my personal houses just to be like, just to try it and be like, look, I got this opener. Look, it does the radio. It's got air compressor. I just wanted one to try, but never did it. Good thing I probably didn't. Hated those railway operators. He said had to constantly reprogram limits. Ooh, I didn't know that. Doesn't surprise me. Rest of Eric, are you correct about that? He says, but they look cool. Eric says, if I had the money, I'd pay you to send me the head of the Stanley. You really want the Stanley, huh? I'm sure there'll be more to come that aren't so soggy wet. Any of them could believe, he says, any of them could believe that worked no problem. Oh, that's right. On the your last comment there. Rusty's got Dave. How many hours is too many for used lift like that? Ooh, I don't know what the hours. That even has an hour meter on it. I don't know. That one's used. We may buy one depending on taxes. So here's the thing. I think what we're gonna do. I called our company. They switched. I'm bummed. It used to be Cloverdale around here. It was a nice little independent kind of mom, pa, it was a pretty big outfit, but they sold out. I think it's to Hercules or something. It's HE something, Hercules. I don't remember. Anywho, I did call them, and their prices really haven't changed. So I think it was for like a 32 or 34.21. So it's 32. I was trying to do a little bigger on the platform. And then for a height, they were quoting about I think it was right around 425 for a month to rent it. And I'm like, that's not bad. Like 425. I'm like under $500. to rent it for a month. And I was like, that might be just the way to go. Then it's all up on the codes. They keep up on it. If it breaks, they switch it out. If it has any kind of problems, what I love about it is basically you're gaining another employee in a sense, because the one out there has had issues. It's got something with the platform, legs kicking out. So in my opinion is too, anybody's more than welcome, but we've had really good luck with Genies. When I talked to their technician before they sold out, they said that's why we basically that's all we lease out as Genies, because they're just, they don't have that many problems. And they said that they're simpler. And I was like, I like that word. I like simpler. And this one has some weird mechanism, and so it'll constantly, when you go up, you can't move. And that's really not good, because if you're doing springs, you know how that is. If you're up trying to slide a spring out on a commercial job and you can't move the lift, that's no good. You got to go all the way back down, move the lift, go all the way back up. It's hard on the machine. It's hard on the worker. It's hard on everybody. When they did it to me one day, I was not a happy camper, and so it needs to be addressed. I just don't really think, what we look at is the lifts are all of, really the cheap end's $5,000. Most of them are all 8 to 9 to 10 grand. And the problem is that most of those, what I've learned with lifts is that the rental companies keep them for about 3 years, and that's when they unload them, because right about that 3 year mark is when the batteries start going, and you can add a lot of money into the batteries. And then there's the whole safety thing. They got to be painted. They got to have the right stickers. So it just depends on what you want to do. Do 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 do. Rabbi Offo, Rabbi Openers, Eric is had money at pay, says Tanner, Texas. Russ says buy a lift, he says, or give it to the government. That is true. That is true. I'm sure the motor from one of those LiftMasters or a Genie would work on that Power Master. That's a good one, Eric. That's true. You're probably right, because you're right. Power Master was first. LiftMaster was second. So they probably interchange, or I bet you're right. Says I encountered Mako. He says it was 30 years old, and replaced it with the Moranis. Interesting. Never even heard of that one, the Canadian one. Rusty's got. What's Rusty got? My mechanic told me that on Skyjack, he would not be worried if they had high hours. The parts are cheap if you buy themselves, and they are super easy to work on. I have a 14 with roughly 100. Is it 160? Looks like 160 hours, and an 18 with 120, and say they are low hours. He has some with 450 plus. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. We went from, what did we used to have? I don't want to spit. Robert says Lanier is transitioning to the Nice brand name, from what I've been told. Interesting. So we when our lift, we used to have an upright. That's what we had, an old upright. And sometimes what happens in business, right? You start building a business so big, it's a vortex, right? You start becoming, like, you realize it's like almost being sucked up in a tornado, right? Like the tornado starts getting so big that you realize you can't fix it all, right? You can't fix it all. You can't even enjoy it. You're just like, you're being lifted off. So what I did was that upright was that same thing, right? It was like, I couldn't keep up. The parts, you could find them, but you had to dig for them. So it was really hard. It's supposed to be technically, right, up to safety standards, right? The sticker's got to be good. It needs to be painted correctly. It needs to have the right tires on it. There was a company here in town that basically almost went belly up because they ended up, the dead man switch didn't work. They bypassed it or had something, or it didn't have, I don't know. But anyways, a guy got pinned against the ceiling. Basically went, big time surgery, hospital. So they're like a blessing, but they're a curse. You know what I mean? So then we ended up renting one for a while, and that worked out great. It worked out great. I mean, it's kind of like when I've leased vehicles. It's nice because you don't put that burden on you. It's something new. You're not putting that debt on your books, and then you only have to do a portion of it. And what's nice is it's just basically it's debt, right? And you don't pay taxes on debt, and so it's nice and it's new, and you don't worry about it. That's what's nice about it. So the best thing is like when somebody calls you, and they go, "Hey, lift's not working." Okay, well, load that piece of junk up. You got a forklift there? Yeah, there's a guy with a forklift. Throw that thing on the trailer. Take it back to the place that we're renting because this place has just got hundreds and hundreds of lifts. You take it back, boom, it's done. They'll come out too, but it's gotta be in their schedule. You know what I mean? On their truck and that. But like when I bought, which one was it? I think I bought that Skyjack. I think I bought the Skyjack. Right away, I should have known. It was my fault. It was on gravel, right? And the guy was like, he was real adamant. I watched it move inside and stuff, and I was like, seems like it works. Like I was like, does everything work? And this guy kind of like rebuilt them, so I trusted him. Like he, I'm okay with somebody like rebuilding or fixing them. They might have had something wrong. He bought them from another place, but come to find out, the batteries weren't that good in this, so it wouldn't probably climb the trailer. So he was like, "Oh no, no, no!" He's like, "I'll fork it on there, so you got to go across gravel and get stuck." And I'm like, "All right, fair enough." So he forked it on the trailer. Come to find out, we get it off. I start using it. I'm realizing I'm like, the batteries, something's off with this thing. So right out of the gates, man, I got to start working on this thing. And you know how it is, right? When you're in business, I mean, I'm swamped, man. Like I ain't got no time to mess with stuff right now. I mean, I barely got time to spend like a night eating dinner with my kids, and my family. So it's like I'm like, I just ain't got time to be screwing these batteries. And I had then what batteries do you use? It's amazing how much time this stuff consumes, right? Because now you're like, well, I want to use good batteries. What batteries do I use? Do I use Interstate? Well, they're kind of expensive. Do I use these? Where do I get these? I found these online. You can spend so much time into these things. So we ended up doing the batteries. The batteries were whatever, $6, $8, $1,200. And now it turns into the damn charger went out on me. And I remember the charger went out, of course, at a job that's an hour and 15 minutes away at a dealership that I got like, we were just going to slam it out, right? It was one of those, something was getting changed. I don't know if we're changing sections and some springs, but we ended up sending like 3 or 4 guys out there. Just it's end of the evening. Hey, just you guys run out there and get this knocked out. You're way overkill on manpower, and this scissor lift doesn't work. So now I got to run. I'm running around trying to find a golf cart because I found out that the golf cart chargers will charge 48 volts, and that's what this needs, or something like that. So I'm running around on Facebook, right, trying to find it, call these one people. They don't respond. Get it with somebody else. Oh, I just sold it like 2 days ago. Well, good, take it off Facebook. God, found somebody finally. And I'm like driving there, frantic. I get there, they're just talking. I'm like, yeah, okay, like I got guys waiting, like they can't lift this, because it's at a dealership. They don't got forklifts there. Some do, but this one don't. It's just in those moments when you're just like, I just need something. I just need stuff to work. I just need stuff to work. You know what I mean? And the lift wasn't working, so I got burned on that one. And then this other one we bought, right? This is a Genie. They got different cylinders in them. So I bought this actually from the company we rented from, and I think this one's got a weaker cylinder. So this one, if you get 2 guys in there with like 2 springs, 2 commercial springs, you're doing the humpity hump, the hoppity hop, you know what I mean? Or lifting yourself up the door, trying to get the lift to work. So that's kind of a bummer, where it's like, I'd rather just call somebody and say, look, this one's not lifting like it should. I know they sell, I think it's like they got, what is it, 300-pound lifts, or they got 500 pounds. We need the 500 pounds. We fat. And we got some fat springs too with it. Hey, we got 11 likes through the night. That was good. Thank you for the likes. Linears, transforming, he says hours, he says 120. Sky near bought us sandwiches. Ooh, trying to get us to buy from them. Ooh, look at that. They bought you sandwiches? Well, they're going to have to buy me sandwiches and cookies. I want dessert. Thanks for the info, Tanner. What's the Tanner guy? Says, damn, Sky, tell them to bring me sandwiches. I might think about it. That's funny. I'm with Eric. He says, I'll stay up north. He says, love the cooler weather. Not a big fan of sweating my ass off. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Either, Robert's got to get me or Tony, man. Papa Tony's got it. They got to get me down south, man, where it's warm. Eric's guy says Arizona's too hot for me. Ohio. But summer in Iowa does still get pretty bad sometimes. Yeah, it's hard, man. What's up, Dab? So I hate when people stare at me while I'm working. Yeah. I had who was it? My sales rep lady from Wayne Dalton. She used to tell me it was a safety, you know, that we need you to go inside because it's a safety, And I've kind of tempted that a little bit, and I've taken some door panels, right, and kind of swing them around, especially when they want to sit in their chair. And I'm like, I think I'll just go inside. I'm like, okay, it's probably good for you because I really hate for you to get hurt. It doesn't always work. Every situation is always a little different, but I agree. It is kind of a pain. That's why it's nice if you can. In those situations, what I found works best for me because I'm kind of high anxiety. I just kind of have to, I always call it the cigarette effect. I just kind of have to relax and I have to do my job. And then I just stand there. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll drown them a little bit. Like when they want to talk, I'm just like, yeah, yeah. And I just like basically pretend like I can't work and talk at the same. So I'm just like, yeah. And they're just like, oh. And they finally start kind of going like, this guy's never going to leave. You know what I mean? If I keep talking with them and I'm like, you better go. Rusty says, hi, Debbie. So I enjoy it and encourage the owners to watch. Now, I mean, man, I don't like them when they're too much of yuck. Or you get the ones that want to tell you how to do it. I used to do garage doors back in the good. What the hell am I here for? Why don't you do it? I got other things to do. Says, yeah, Dad, same here. He says it's probably because we're so handsome. Oh, that's funny. Tony says, I like having lift because I've always got it. I'm not waiting on someone to bring it back. So I don't know if Tony too. So I don't, maybe whatever, right? I'm just going to spill the beans on it. So like for us, right, it's $425 to rent, and that's for the whole month. And so we get to keep it. We don't have to take it back. So we used to do that. And then what I found out, there's a company here in town. I don't think I'll get in trouble, right? It's Ready Rental. They're a great company. Love the company. But they were charging us like $475, $500 for like a week, or like 220 or something like that, $200 a day. Super expensive. This place, like I said, for $425, and like I said, we don't ever take it back. We just pay every month, and it's ours. So it's really great. We just have to provide the trailer, which we obviously already have the trailer. So we just keep it, and then we can turn it in any time if things go slow. That's why right now I was kind of on limbo because I wanted to see kind of what the election does, and then we're just kind of waiting right now. We got the other lift that the guys can use. It's just that typically we need two lifts at all times for our commercial customers because there's just too many that they're on the job doing their stuff, and then we get the broken spring at the fire department or something, so they gotta use it. But I just undecided a little bit if I've been trying to work with Cap on it and say, would you want to go with a little wider? Because then it's gonna be a little heavier. And I know with the cutaway van, it gets a little hairy with pulling, especially the big one. They don't like going on big fast trips down the highway, let's say, with the one. Dabby says, I'm really good looking. I've never thought about that. There you go. I don't mind when they start. It's not often people get to experience a badass working on their door. That's cool. That's cool. Eric Scotty says all our lifts are the GLG. They had a factory near us, and they let us use their prototypes and stuff. We got 3 of them. Well, that's cool. That's nice, Eric. You know what I mean? I noticed with the JLGs, the most of them that I've used, the problem is the controller is really herky-jerky, where like the Genie is real smooth, man. Even that that Skyjack. It's that one. I really think that one's a malfunction. But I bought a second controller for it, and it's just, I mean, it's like, I mean, it whips your neck, and the wheels are like, I mean, it's just so fast. Where the Genie is just, you can just really feather it, so smooth and just so nice. The door I think works better on that one. Uh, like I said, we just had really good luck with the Genies. I mean, just around here at least. And we got, like I said, our place that we can get them from. They're 15, 20 minutes away. They just seem to work really good. But like I said, you can't go wrong with this right down the road for a factory and stuff. Do. I think it's like every other brand for the most part, besides Genie, has scared me in the lift. And I'm not really easy. I don't mind heights and stuff like that. But the like that Skyjack, that one can jerk really fast. I mean, even when you're up, and I'm like, man, I don't think it should be moving this fast. Like it'll just really kind of leap you around. I've had so I have the JLGs. You know what I mean? I've had those too where it's like, is there something wrong with this? Like it shouldn't be moving that fast, should it be? But they all work. It's way better than ladder, I can tell you that. I'll take any of them. He says, yes, guy, they are probably looking at that that ass. He says, not badass. He says, good one, Tone or Tanner. How long is the rail? And I'm assuming that's on the Power Master. That one's 14. I think it might, the home for it might need a 12. So I don't know if I'm just gonna leave it 14 or try to cut it down. I guess I won't know until possibly look at the job. Ooh, Tony says, Dave, got a hurricane coming through tomorrow down here. Holy cow. Wow, hopefully my place will still be there. Dang. I didn't know that was right where you're at down there, Tony, for the one. Yeah, I've been watching that, and I kept just thinking, oh, they were talking, it might come up and mean touch Lake Michigan. Obviously it won't be in bad, but might bring some more weather this way. So crazy. It says, how about the jerks let their kids play around you? Ooh, man, isn't that bad, the kids? I had one that was like, I don't know if the lady was running a daycare or if it was her own kids, but man, they were riding those little electric Jeeps or whatever. They kept going under the door, and I'm like, I'm kind of waiting for it to like peel off, like they're gonna stop doing it. And finally, I was like, I forget what I did. I think I got the door down. And I was like, that door is staying down. Like I'm not like, and I just kind of went out and I was like, hey, and it's like they're playing in the yard. They were all really cheerful people. So I didn't really want to like crack into them, but I was like, that door ain't coming back up. Like when that door comes back up, it's going to be perfect. Like it's going to be working. So I did everything I needed to do inside. So when I ran it, I was like, hey, just stay back there for a minute, kiddo, blah, blah. I've also noticed, since you mentioned that, it's just like when you run the garage door, right? I've learned with residential, I typically do everything I need to do. I spray it down. Don't run that opener, especially if it's a noisy opener, because once you start running that opener, it's like a magnet. Customers start coming out. You open up the door. You know how it is. Oh, are y'all done? Y'all done? No, I'm not done. No, I'm not done. Not done. I got stuff to do. It's always like when you stack the door, people are like, oh, wow, that's fast. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, now I got to do all the detail crap. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to take a long time. I'm going to look like an idiot. You know what I mean? So it's like, I got to work out all the bugs now. And they just go, wow, you got it up fast. Yeah, you got sections. You see big area. But now I got to work out the kinks of this thing. So it's going to be a lot slower now. Got to do all the back hangs. You know how it goes. Tanner's guy. He says, always tell the customer it costs more to watch. He says, I love how did the door go when I hit them with not bad. He says, my first one. He said, it's a knee slapper. Smack him in the head with it. Get out of the way. Sky just received a great Google reel from the parents because I got the kid another can of lube so he could help me spray. Well, that's good. I will I was paying $325 a day without a trailer. Ooh, man. Dude, I'm telling you, I just think that's a great deal. I like I said, basically 425. It's a newer lift. It's not like it's an old ran out piece of junk. It's all up on your snuff. It's certified. I just don't think it's a bad deal. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of I don't know why. I don't know why we kind of got out of it, honestly. I guess because I thought, well, I will spend $5,000, I'll save it, blah, blah, blah. But like I said, it cost me at the time, it cost me a lot of time. And what I've realized in business is, this is always for me, right? I know how to make money, man. I mean, money is not a problem. It's the time, right? How do you build the time? How do you build the cash flow? And if you can have something, a piece of equipment, and it's making you money, it's cash flowing, and it makes sense. And now you get, like I said, what's always behind the scenes. It's like having another employee. Which is why I kind of like why I'm always telling some of the guys that are starting out, the newbies, I'm like, go to the box store, man. Because at the box store, you're using their services, you're using their people. When you got to go back there and you go, don't work. It don't work. You know what I mean? And then their customer service man or girl goes, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to return it? Do you want to get I want another one. Because behind the scenes, that's the one thing in business I didn't do enough. I should have been looking behind the scenes, right? What is costing me where, like when I used to go get my openers, right? I used to go get onesies. Then I turned into threes. And then I realized I went, man, my time is way more valuable. Like I'm spending at least 45 minutes, an hour to 3 hours going to get openers. I can't do this. Like I got to get stuff delivered to me. Everything needs to be delivered because everything delivered to me is less time I'm on the road. And hey, let's face it, right? Why is car insurance so much? Because it's on the road. It's a liability because there's a bunch of knuckleheads out there that want to kill you and smash into you. And when you're a business owner, you're already distracted as hell, man. Phone call, whatever, man, all kinds of stuff. You got two phones in each ear. So you need to create as much time as you can. And that's what happened at one time. That's when I used to own used stuff too. A lot of used stuff would start adding up. And the wife at the time, I think we were into February, and she was like, I think we can afford a new vehicle. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, we're over $10,000. And I think at the time we were only running like 3 or 4 trucks at the time, and I was like, $10,000, and I'm thinking, damn, no wonder the mechanic's coming down here with donuts. Like, you're my best customer, But the problem was too is I love the mechanic. He was a great dude. He was a really good mechanic. The problem was is every time I go down there, he'd fix something, and it was like an employee would always find something. Well, the defrost still doesn't work, and I'm like, are you serious? Like I drove it back, it worked fine. Like what? Go out there, doesn't work. God darn it! So now it'd be me. It'd be an employee, right? That's costing time. That's costing my time. That's costing employee time. We go back down there. We got to spend 10, 15 minutes. Hey, buddy, it still ain't working. The truck's got to be down. So it's all about the time, keeping the stuff. I always like that. What was it? The Chinese guy, when I worked at a factory, something, right? It was that saying, he says, when is a machine 100% efficient? And, well, when it's always running. You know what I mean? So you need stuff to be always running, right? That's why I kind of look at the service vehicles. I'm always kind of bummed, right? Because right now, that damn thing ain't making no money. You know what I mean? It's just sitting there. It's rotting away. It's depreciating. Tomorrow to make money for 8 hours. Custom which love outdoor. Sky Google spray. Tony, I was paying $400, and that included drop off, and pickup. Dang. Says, damn, Tony. Says, holy hell, Tony, I rent it for 100 and 150 a day with a trailer, or 450 for the month. So I just kept it by the month until I bought my own. Now I have 3 of my own. Nice. This is Katie. Where are you located? Nobody gonna slice my throat. I'm in Michigan. Is that close enough? You tell me if you need more. I'm staying away from that window. Might have a laser on me. Oh, in the magical land of Michigan. Eric, you must be. Are you talking about the electric forest? That's like our Woodstock, okay? So I can't find anyone who can help me with a smaller garage door without a price being astronomical. Oh, easy. Look at Tony or Tanner. He says he's Katie. He's very. Well, you gotta find. For one, we don't know. You might have somebody right here, Katie, on this channel. Honestly, I could help you out depending on where you're at. No, for real. Says I really need help with this for this issues. Well, you know, hey, you're always more than welcome, Katie. We got a lot of good people on this channel. You could always shoot me an email at the Daveadubson. I typically put it in the description below. You could always send that or send a picture. I've already said it once, I think. The 231-720-9675. Maybe somebody can help or give you roughly a price. I can do a video on it. Really need help. Says Rusty's got, what is the problem you're having? I was quoted 1900 minimum. Depends on what the 1900 minimum is. Did they tell you what that included? Tony says, oh, so true, Dave. It's like it's calling him. You kick the button, they come running. I've been watching his videos, but I don't think I can do it myself. It all depends on what you got to do. Hopefully not mess with the spring and cut your hand off. I must be from, Tanner says, must be from California with those prices. That's a good one. I like that. He says, on the topic of doors and hurricanes, he says, my best friend got his house destroyed in the hurricane and his mom's car. In the garage opener fell on his mom's car and broke the windshield. Dude, not good. Expensive. Yeah, Rusty says, Tanner, I probably charge me. Yeah, Rusty's the most expensive. I agree. In Oklahoma. Okay. Katie, what was the problem that you were having that they gave you that price? Tanner, did you get a price from the garage door training school guy on YouTube? Yeah. What is it? Tanner says, did you get a price? I don't know if you're asking me, Tanner. It's always cheaper to have it delivered. Your time is worth a lot. So true, man. Your time is worth so much, and you got to be. That's why you got to be. It's still that whole thing about preparations, being proactive. And hey, by the way, we got 11 likes. Thank you for the likes, you guys. Yeah, it's all about, you got to be on top of that stuff, getting stuff delivered. So important. Katie, Rusty, that was for the door and installation only. Says, let me know. He says he makes it up before he sees the job. I got mine from my calculator and the desired profit margin and the need to be successful. Katie, so I asked about cash and carry, and he's like, nope, we don't do that. I don't think I know. Did Katie say what her problem is? I don't know if we got what her issue is with her door. Or I guess she's replacing it or something like that. Or how big is this door? He says, oh shoot, that's cheap for a door and install. Did I miss something? I must have missed something. Rusty, that door only. Okay, so she's got 6x7. Wait a minute. What? Oh shoot, door. I'm assuming that's 16x7 or 6x7 is a pretty small door. That's it. That's it for is that a golf cart? That's what, yeah. We're at Oklahoma. Sky, are you near McAllister? Katie would charge roughly $25 for insulated or installed doors that size. Eric's, who needs garage door training school? He says, I got I got Uncle Dave. I need a door for my shed. Oh man, what was that one I just got rid of? That's too bad. Too bad it wasn't closer. That was that fire. I think it was a fire door. 16, 6x7. 6x7. Is that insulated or non-insulated? 19. I think, Katie, what you should do, Katie, you should call. This would be a good one for like calling Menards or Home Depot or Lowe's. I like Menards. I just like Menards. I'd call Menards. I'd tell them that size. I mean, honestly, I don't know if you'd be okay with just a roll-up door, like what you see at a storage unit, because that's going to be super cheap. You can probably get the storage unit door for, I don't know what they're running nowadays, $200-300. They're cheap. And you could find, I mean, somebody who's a pretty handy person could probably install it for, I mean, for them, it's probably going to take maybe a couple, 2, 3, 4 hours, but they're really not that hard. Says Tony says, hey Eric, you not only got Dave, you could always come see Papa Tony. I love it. Is it Dwyer? Is it Dwyer, Oklahoma? Preferably insulated. Insulated. Well, that's the trick. Well, you got to do insulated. You're gonna, like I said, I would call. And honestly, one thing is it's kind of making me think about it a little bit. Is also if you call like Menards, I think Home Depot and Lowe's does it too. If you don't have a Menards, just ask them. Say, do you have any installers? And they can get you somebody. Like I said, you just need somebody. Well, it all depends. It'd be one of those things like if you sent me some pictures, I'd probably understand it more, depending on how severe the install is. But you can call those lumber yards. Lumber yards too. Whoa. Yeah, that's what he says. Tanner's got two. Says just buy a roll-up / coil door from Menards, Lowe's, Home Depot. Watch a video. They are mindless to install. They're pretty. But if you want insulated, yeah, Robert's got 6x7. I think he's probably, depends if you're doing a steel back door or 15 at most, he says. That's why, like I said, I'd probably call, at least get a base price from like Home Depot or Lowe's. Call them, and then at least you kind of know what you're working with. And then all you got to do is, if you can find somebody, you might be able to do a post like on either Facebook, Nextdoor. I don't know if Craigslist really has anything anymore, but you could find somebody, and I'm sure there's somebody out there. Just try to screen them a little bit, see if they got any work they've done in the past or any referrals, so you can call. And like I said, it all depends on the situation. This is like that whole thing. Like we're sitting here having all this conversation, which is awesome. But I sit here and I don't know about you guys, but for me, I can't do much without pictures. Like I just look at it and I go, I don't know if this is a nice shed. I don't know if this shed is mediocre. I don't know if this shed is just like it's a dog pen for Rufus. I don't know what the ceiling looks like. I don't know what the roof pitch looks like. I don't know if there's rafters in the way. I don't know if it's what kind of floor, concrete, plywood, OSB, cinder blocks. I mean, all these things add up in my head where I go, the level of installation has to be different layers, right? Like, can it be the trunk slammer, or do we need to probably get somebody that's a little bit in the 1900? Don't sound too bad. You know what I mean? Like let him do it. He's going to warranty it. Any problems, that kind of stuff. Yeah, Eric says, I don't think Menards is in Oklahoma. You're probably right. But I think the Home Depot or Lowe's, those guys can still help you out. 6x7 roller can get for $450. Probably take 20 minutes. Case guys, I found someone like 500, but shipping is 11. Whoo, holy moly! And then I drove to pick it up. I'd be like 8 hours away. Dang. Got to have something. You got to like have Home Depot or something around the Lowe's. Robert says 900 for non-insulated 6x7 installed here. Okay, so that's for a non-insulated. It's a brand new shed. Okay, and I Didn't plan on the door like an idiot. uh, that's a bummer. I guess too, where you got the shed from? Did you get it from Home Depot or Lowe's? You know, like I said, maybe they can kind of help you out. They say, hey, we know what goes with it, or what's the package deal. Tanner says, I don't think they make the roll up doors insulated. Maybe. No, as far as I know, they don't make. The only thing they make is like a roll up door. You know, they make this one, but this is rolling. This is rolling steel. This is insulated. But like I said, if you're trying to keep it insulated against this and stuff, it's not the best. It's solid. This is a good door for the whole like security and stuff like that. It's simple, but I wouldn't recommend it. You know what I mean? For insulated, this door leaks like a sieve. They're a cold mamba jamba. So you gotta go rolling steel, as far as I know. The insulated. They don't make storage unit doors. And storage unit doors are what's cheap. Rolling steel, super expensive. That door 10, 12 years ago was like $1,200, I think. And it's probably more like $2,200 or something nowadays. 28, I don't know. Just for the door. No installation, no markup. If I had to guess. And I might still be off. You can put very expensive and overkill for that application, and it's only our value of 6/7. No, I totally understand where you can send you a picture. No, I totally understand where can I send a picture of it? Like I said, you can, if you guys, anybody comes through my channel, I always put my email in the description, typically below in the video, but it's just a Daveadubson@gmail.com. That's probably the easiest way through the email. Shed sounds like no headroom. And that might be why we're talking $1,900 too, right? Low headroom track, maybe rear mount, weather seal, you know. So that's why it'd be nice. Like this is a great like example right here with a customer. You'd also want to know like, what are you going to do with this door? Are you planning on parking a golf cart in here? Are you planning on parking something in here, a certain car, vehicle, tractor? You know, is there going to be a headroom issues? Because obviously if you go, let's say 3-inch low headroom, you guys know how that goes. The 3-inch is going to drop it into the jam. We could have problems. There's all kinds of goodies. Says like no headroom. He says even French doors could be an option. Yep, Jets has got that. That's true. It's hard though on the those sheds. You know how it is. Shed doors just always work like garbage if they're not garage doors. Garage doors just hold up so much better when it comes to the sheds. I'm thinking the same thing. Definitely, if you got a roll up in a shed, you're probably gonna have a 7-foot open. A little less, I'm sure. You go back to those one-piece doors. Those things could fit in like inch and a half headroom. Does anybody make the one-piece doors anymore? Has anybody dealt with one-piece doors? You know, I'm talking like the springs are on the side and they just tip out and they got the track that goes right back. No curves, just straight. We live in the Iowa. He says Great Lakes. We do golf cart doors 6x7 a bunch, and insulated ones installed here between 22, 24, depending on color and windows. That's cool. That's good. Thanks for offering that, Tanner. That's good info right there, Tanner. That's where I'm at for a Clope. He says I just checked. 1K is my budget. Oh man. I'm gonna have to go pick up some pop cans. Tony says, Katie, best advice I can give you: get on Google Maps and search garage door installations. You can get small guys. Okay, so no, I built it with my dad, not a prefabbed. Nice. Well, we need to get Dad to put the garage door in. Dad can do the garage door. I bet he can. He might just need a little help from Uncle Dave or Papa Tony. maybe Tanner, Rusty, Eric, Rob, all of you. Oh, man. Rusty says, for that budget, I think you should look for someone who isn't a real business. He says, and wants to do it on the side. Yeah. Yeah. Facebook, everyone you know. The question is, like, what can you buy it from? Like I said, the Home Depot or Lowe's. That's kind of the key. You could double that price. That's going to be pretty much where you're at. Or you just find somebody, like kind of like Rusty said, Facebook. Find somebody that's really not a. But you got to watch it. You know what I mean? Because what they install too, it might not work. And then what are you going to do if you got to call somebody else out? You call somebody that's a professional like us, and we're like, yeah, whoever did this, this is not no good. Holy crap, you guys kept me up late. Tanner says, well, if you're dad and you can build a shed, you guys should be able to do a roll-up door or a section door. Just watch a video or, God willing, read the installation manual. They suck, but I have seen people make it work. It's true. It's true. The garage doors really aren't that bad. And honestly, okay, I mean, you could, if you got questions, you could either shoot me an email, whatever, you know what I mean? You can shoot me a text. If I don't have the answers, I know somebody that's got an answer. But it really isn't that bad. It really isn't. It's, if you could probably put a bike together, a pedaly bike, you can probably do a garage door. It's longer. There's a few tricks, but it really isn't that bad. Tanner says, if no headroom, just get a roll up. He says, mount to the outside shed and get a cover. Yes, he says they still make one piece. They do, Tony. Dang, who offers them? Jets has got sounds ridiculous, but one day I'd like to install a one piece with all hand powered tools. Ooh, rock on, man. That's sweet. I'm with you. If you do it, let me know. Let me know. I'll hook up. That would be cool. That would be cool, especially if you could get some stuff that's like the old stuff that they would have used, like from like some yard sales or I don't know where you. That would be cool. That'd be cool. I'd be on board with that. It says they used to make one piece for me. Now I have to build them myself. That's a bummer. Come on, Tony. Tell us where you can get them. Where you can get them, Tony? Who sells them? Eric, Tony looks like you're going to go to Oklahoma. Yeah. Taylor says, yeah, Tony. Yes, Tony is a real business. Eric's got, who cares? Man. Okay, so it's about 11 foot in the front and 7 in the back. And the garage door is next to the man door. Yes, I will email you. I'm not afraid of putting it up. I think I can put it up, but the problem is getting the door the right size. Yeah. We should do a tour where we go fix doors together. Let's call it. There you go. Let's call it this old door. Is this what is that one? What's the one out there? This old house. This old house. I love it. I love it. This is great. This is awesome. Eric says I got lots of old tools. Dude, you do, Eric? You got lots of old tools? Come on, man. That'd be cool. Send me some pictures of that. Keys got, thank you guys so much, all your help and advice. No problem. My dad has a lot of health issues. Oh, sorry to hear that. And I just can't rely on him. I understand that. They do a bunch of one piece in Europe still. Huh. Yeah, Eric says, sorry to hear that. Yeah, like I said, Katie, whatever, man. Katie, send me, I mean, we'll do our darndest to help you out. You sound like you're bright. You'll figure it out. You just got to do it on like a weekend where you can take some time. No rush. And like you said, if we got to get you the right, but pictures goes a long ways. Some dimensions. like I said, I can help you out, or I got connections with all these guys, and we'll find out an answer for you if we don't know either. Because somebody's got it. There's a lot of knowledge here. Sure. What's to say? Or we could go do a show, Real Door Guys of Muskegon, in one house. Man, you better bring some body armor, man. We got some rough dudes over here. Oh man. It says I believe they like extension springs in Oklahoma. Really? Interesting. Interesting. Peter asked Katie, there's a 6x6 roll-up door on Facebook Marketplace for $100. Wow. Looks like 2 hours from you. Not sure if your opening can be made smaller. Ooh, man, Peter, that's awesome. I'm going to take a screenshot of that in case Katie jumps off or whatever. And she emails, I'll send her that because that's, like I said, $100. 6x6. Problem is, though, it's a roll-up. I'm assuming it's a pretty nice shed where it's got, you know, if you want to insulate it, obviously you're kind of doing stuff in there or whatever. It's a little hangout or whatever, you know, is my guess. So, but we'll figure something out, like I said. All right, guys, I think I'm going to be probably wrapping her up here. Looks like everybody's got to go to sleep. I got to go to sleep. My goodness, man, there's always something to do. Don't forget the Power Master. What's Katie got here? Thank you so much. Sorry if I messed up your live. Appreciate encouragement and help. Oh no, no, that's what we do. The lives are to hear. You know, I do the lives anyways. I do lives just to help. I love listening to all these guys telling me the stories and girls. You know, it's amazing. I love the wealth of knowledge. I mean, like I said, it's college for free, you know what I mean? And that's what I love about it. And I really enjoy, that's kind of my mission now. I really enjoy helping people, especially starting out business, just garage doors in general. Oh, we got a low battery warning, but we're still rolling, but I just enjoy it. You know what I mean? It's, I guess that's one of those things. Once it's in your blood, it's just in your blood. You know what I mean? I always like learning and seeing what's new out there, what's going on. So Eric's got it. He says, but no, don't worry. You didn't mess up the live stream. Look at these guys were all willing to help. That's great that they're all willing to jump in, and we're just trying to. We all love garage doors very much. That's for sure, and so we try to take care of our customers. Good Katie, we're here to help. Says Tony. Says Eric's got. That's what it's all about. That's right. Sky's got. Thanks for sharing, Kate. Katie says, what did I miss on here? Thank you so much. Katie's good night. Eric's got good night. All that good stuff. Yep, it is. I do hope you guys have a good, well, here anyways. It's not have a good night. It's good morning. So I don't know where we're meeting up to get some coffee, but it's about that time. So anyways, hope you guys have a good night. Take care. Remember, keep your fingers. We'll see you on the next one. If you got anything, you can shoot me an email. Otherwise, you guys know too, you can always text me. Some of you guys use 231-720-9675. Over and out. Take care on the next one. Tony says, Tony always cracks me up. Damn, it's midnight. It's go to sleep. Time to go to bed, Papa Tony.